If your shoulders climb toward your ears by 6 in the evening, and you catch yourself physically pushing them back down, that's not stress. That's a distress signal from a muscle you can't see and probably forgot existed. Garrett Landon. Right now, as you're watching this, your neck is doing a job it was never built for. You have muscles running up both sides of your neck, thin, short muscles whose only job is turning your head. That's it. That's all they're supposed to do. But right now, those muscles are breathing for you. Every inhale, 16 times a minute, they contract and yank your ribcage upward because the muscle that should be doing that work, a wide, dome-shaped sheet sitting right below your lungs, has gone quiet. And when your neck breathes for you 1,000 times an hour, by dinner time, those muscles lock up. Not from tension, from sheer exhaustion. And that same quiet muscle, the one that checked out under your ribs, is also the reason your ankles swell by evening and your face looks puffy before noon. There's one position you can lie in for 5 minutes that wakes it back up. But if you just lie down and breathe the way you're breathing right now, nothing changes. The position matters. The breath matters more. And if you get either one wrong, you're reinforcing the exact pattern that caused the problem. So before I show you what to do, you need to understand what went wrong. Because your neck didn't break. Something underneath it quit. The muscle under your ribs is called the diaphragm. I'll say the name once and move on because the name doesn't matter. What it does is everything. Picture a wide parachute stretched across the inside of your torso, right where your ribs end. When it contracts, it pulls downward like a plunger. That downward pull creates a vacuum inside your chest. Air rushes in, your lungs fill. That's one inhale. When it relaxes, it domes back up, pushes air out. That's one exhale, 16 times a minute, 20,000 times a day, every day since the moment you took your first breath. And here's the thing about it. When that parachute does its job, nothing else has to move. Your shoulders stay down, your neck stays loose, your jaw relaxes, breathing is silent, invisible, effortless. You don't even register it happening, the way it should be, the way it was for most of your life. But something shifts, slowly, over years. And you never feel the switch flip. You sit at a desk for 8 hours. Your posture rounds forward. Your rib cage compresses inward, a little more each year, and that parachute can't drop as far as it used to. There's no room. So your body adapts. It doesn't ask you. It doesn't warn you. It just starts recruiting backup. Muscles along both sides of your neck, the scalenes, begin pulling your upper ribs upward to make room for air. Your upper traps, those thick ropes draped across the top of your shoulders, start lifting with every single breath. And this happens so gradually that you never notice the moment when your neck became a breathing muscle. You know what that means in numbers? Your neck and shoulders are now doing 15 to 20,000 reps a day of a movement they were never designed for. No barbell, no gym, just breathing. And by 6 in the evening, they're wrecked. Not because you slept wrong, not because you need a new pillow, not because you stared at your phone too long, because they've been doing overtime since sunrise. And that's not even the worst of it. Those overworked neck muscles, the ones pulling double duty all day, sit directly on top of a bundle of nerves that runs from your neck into your arms and hands. When they swell from overuse, they compress those nerves. And suddenly your fingers tingle at night. Your hands go numb at 3 in the morning. You wake up, shake them out, and assume you slept on your arm. You didn't. Your neck muscles are so swollen from a full day of breathing that they're squeezing the nerves while you sleep. If any of that sounds familiar, save this video, because what comes next explains a piece of this puzzle that even most doctors skip right over. Now here's where it gets strange, and this is the connection that took me years to see. Your body runs 2 circulation systems. You know the first, blood. Heart pumps it, arteries carry it out, veins carry it back. Grade school stuff. But the second one, lymph, most people have never thought about. And it's the one that controls whether you swell up or stay lean. Lymph is the fluid that leaks out of your tiniest blood vessels into the spaces between your cells. It carries waste, dead cells, bacteria, toxins, all the debris your tissue needs to flush. And it has to travel back into your bloodstream to be filtered and cleaned. Here's the catch. Lymph doesn't have a pump. Blood has your heart. Lymph has nothing. No motor, no engine. It relies entirely on movement and pressure changes to get where it needs to go. And the single biggest pressure change in your body, the one that moves more lymph than anything else, happens every time that dome under your ribs drops on an inhale. One deep diaphragmatic breath creates a wave of negative pressure inside your chest that sucks lymph upward through a large duct running right alongside your spine, from your legs, from your arms, from your face. One breath, one pump cycle. 20,000 times a day if the system is working. And now flip it. If you're breathing with your neck, short, shallow pulls that barely move your ribs, that pump barely fires. Lymph sits in your tissues. It doesn't drain. Your ankles swell by afternoon. Your rings feel tight by evening. You wake up with a puffy face and bags under your eyes. You blame the salt. You blame the water. You blame sitting too long. And those things contribute. But the engine that's supposed to clear that fluid is running at maybe 20%, because the muscle that drives it has been asleep for years. And now the riddle from the top starts to come together. Neck spasms, shoulder knots, swollen ankles, puffy face. 4 symptoms that look completely unrelated. One quiet muscle, one cause. If you know someone who fights swelling every day, puffy mornings, tight shoes, heavy legs, send them this video right now, before you forget. Because what comes next is the part that explains why nothing else has worked. But there's one more layer, and this one answers the question that drives people crazy. Why won't the spasm let go? You stretch it, you foam roll it, you sit in a hot shower and let the water hit that spot between your shoulder blades for 10 minutes. It loosens up for an hour, maybe 2. Then it's right back where it started. Same knot, same spot, same tightness that makes you want to grab the back of your neck and just squeeze. I spent years treating that loop. Heat, anti-inflammatories, muscle relaxants, referrals for massage, and it helped, temporarily. And I couldn't figure out why it kept coming back, until I looked at it from a completely different direction. There's a nerve that runs from your brainstem all the way down through your neck, past your heart, through that dome under your ribs, and into your gut. It's the longest nerve in your body, and it does something no muscle relaxant can do. It tells your muscles, stand down, the danger is over. When this nerve fires properly, your heart rate slows, your blood pressure eases, and your muscles, every one of them, release their grip. It's the body's off switch for tension, the signal that says, safe. And you know what activates it? Your exhale. Specifically, a long, slow exhale, longer than the inhale. That ratio, short in, long out, sends a signal up the nerve to your brainstem that says, no threat. And your brain responds by pulling back the stress hormones that keep everything clenched. But if you're chest breathing all day, short, shallow, quick, your exhale gets clipped, cut in half. The signal never completes. Your nervous system stays in high gear, fight mode, guard mode, and your muscles obey. They stay tight. That knot between your shoulder blades isn't a knot at all. It's a muscle that got the order to clench and never got the order to stop. Because the breath that carries the stop signal never reached full length. So the question isn't, how do you loosen a spasm? The question is, how do you tell your nervous system it's safe to let go? And the answer is almost embarrassingly simple. You breathe differently, for 5 minutes, in one position that makes it almost impossible to get wrong. What I'm about to describe could change how you feel tonight. If someone next to you wakes up stiff or swollen every morning, forward this video now before it slips your mind. Sometimes a single link does more than 10 appointments. Here's what you do. You need a chair. A couch works, the edge of a bed, fine. Anything solid that you can rest your lower legs on. Lie down on the floor, on your back. Scoot close to the chair. Lift your calves up onto the seat so your knees are directly above your hips. Both joints, hips and knees, at roughly 90 degrees. Your back is flat against the ground. Arms out to the sides, relaxed, palms facing the ceiling. And that's the position. Now, why this and not just lying flat? Because when your legs are up at 90 degrees, 2 critical things happen inside your body. Your hip flexors, the muscles at the front of your hips that spend all day shortened because you're sitting, finally release. They stop pulling. When they let go, your lower back drops toward the floor. You'll feel it, a settling, like your spine just exhaled. And when your lower back drops, That dome underneath your ribs has room to descend fully for the first time all day. The parachute can finally open all the way. That's the first thing. The second, gravity now works for you instead of against you. Fluid that's been pooling in your calves and ankles all day, blood, lymph, interstitial fluid, starts draining back toward your torso without effort. You're not fighting physics anymore, you're using it. Now, the breath. And this is where most people get it wrong, so listen carefully. Do not take a big, dramatic breath through your mouth. That's not what this is. Close your mouth. Breathe in through your nose, slowly. Count to 4 as you inhale. And as the air comes in, do not lift your chest. Push your belly outward. Feel your lower ribs expand sideways. Not up, sideways. If you need proof that you're doing it right, put your hands on the sides of your lower ribs. They should push your hands apart on every inhale. If your shoulders rise, even slightly, you're using the wrong muscles. Reset. Start the breath over. Now the exhale. This is the part that does the heavy lifting. Breathe out through barely open lips, like you're blowing through a coffee stirrer. Not hard, soft, and long. If your inhale was 4 seconds, your exhale is 6, or 7, or 8. As slow as you can without forcing it. That slow exhale, that specific ratio of short inhale to long exhale, is the signal. That's what fires the nerve. That's what tells your brain, safe, stand down, let go. 5 minutes, roughly 30 to 40 breaths. And during those 5 minutes, something happens inside you that no pill can replicate, no massage can trigger, and no hot shower can reach. In the first 60 seconds, your diaphragm starts moving the way it was designed to. It drops on each inhale, domes up on each exhale, and the muscles in your neck that have been contracting all day, the ones pulling 20,000 reps since sunrise, finally get a break. They don't have to lift anymore. And the instant a muscle stops contracting, blood flow returns to it. Fresh oxygen gets in. Waste products that built up over hours of constant firing, lactic acid, metabolic debris, get flushed out. That hot, burning tightness across the top of your shoulders, it starts easing. Not because you stretched it, because you stopped overworking it. By minute 2, the pump kicks in. Each full diaphragmatic breath creates a pressure wave that pulls fluid upward through the large duct alongside your spine. Lymph that's been sitting in your tissues for hours, your calves, your fingers, the soft tissue under your eyes, starts moving. You won't see it right away, but do this every evening for a week and pay attention. Your rings will be looser in the morning. Your shoes won't feel as tight by 5 o'clock. That puffiness under your eyes will fade. Not because of a cream, not because you drank less water, because the pump started working again. By minute 3, something shifts that you can actually feel. Those long, slow exhales, 60 of them in a row now, have been sending the same signal over and over up the nerve to your brainstem. Safe, safe, safe. Your heart rate drops. Your blood pressure eases down. And the muscles that have been clenched all day because your nervous system told them to stay on guard, they begin to unwind. You might feel it in your jaw first, or your hands. Some people feel it right between the shoulder blades. A sudden release, like someone loosened a bolt they forgot was there. By minute 5, you are in a measurably different physiological state than when you started. Your breathing has slowed, your neck is loose, your shoulders have dropped. The fluid that was pooling in your legs has shifted. 5 minutes, on the floor, no equipment, no pills, no copay. And I need you to understand what just happened. You didn't add anything to your body. You didn't take a substance. You didn't force a muscle to stretch. You removed an obstacle. The obstacle was the way you've been breathing, unconsciously, insufficiently, with the wrong muscles, for years, maybe decades. And when you took that obstacle out of the way, your body did the rest. Because it already knew how. It was just waiting for you to stop getting in the way. One step, tonight, before you get into bed, put your legs up on a chair and breathe for 5 minutes. That's all. No gadgets, no apps, no supplement with a $30 price tag, just you, the floor, and the breath you've been doing wrong since your desk job started. And here's the thing, your body forgives fast, remarkably fast. It bounces back the moment you give it the right input. That's the good news. The less comfortable news is that it won't wait forever. Those muscles in your neck that have been compensating for years, they're building up adhesions, developing chronic trigger points, and wiring patterns into your nervous system that get harder to reverse with every year you let it ride. The swelling that used to disappear overnight now hangs around until noon. The stiffness that used to loosen in a hot shower now takes half the morning to fade. Your window is still open, wide open, but it's the kind of window that doesn't announce when it's closing. 5 minutes on the floor, tonight. And if it works, and it will, do it again tomorrow, and the day after that, until it stops being something you remember to do and becomes something your body remembers on its own. Until the parachute stays open and your neck goes back to doing the one job it was built for, turning your head to look at the people you love. Every time you hit like, the algorithm shows this to someone new. Someone out there is lying in bed right now, rubbing their neck, not knowing why it never lets up. One share, and you might change someone's evening, or their sleep, or their morning. I'll keep saying what others would rather not, as long as you keep listening. Until next time.